and welcome back to DxO. My name is Don, and this is my channel where I spend a bit of time sharing some of how I go about processing with DxO PhotoLab. Today's one I think is, I'm actually really excited to see how this goes. I haven't looked at the images yet. I had a notion, I was taking my photo of the day. My photo of the day is not terribly exciting, but it did give me an opportunity to have a look at some of the noise reduction in DxO, which of course is one of the things DxO is really well known for. So I've got two images that I've taken. The first one I took, it was already getting a bit dark, and it's at ISO 3600, which I don't expect to be any problem for DxO at all. But then I came back in, and then I thought to myself, oh, it'd be cool to have a comparison. So I went back out, and it was even darker still. So the second image is roughly the same thing as best I could get at ISO 12,000. So it'll be just interesting to look at those side by side and see what that DeepPRIME can pull off with that. So, and I thought with this one, because I will be seeing them at the same time, I'd show you a little bit about my workflow as I go. You can see on my screen there I've got DxO open, and that is 2 days ago, the image that I did 2 days ago, which I have not done a processing video for. Super windy day, but anyway, that aside, let me show you about how I go about this sort of start to finish. So I use a piece of software called FastRawViewer. Let me just bring that up here. FastRawViewer, and it just like the package says, it's really good for buzzing through a lot of images quickly. I'm just going to plug in my SD card here, and it will pop up and ask me if I want to open that up. There we go. And I haven't cleaned my SD card off for a little while, so there's some various bits. Pardon the scrolling. We'll get down to the bottom. And here we go. Here are the ones that I'll be looking at. So this is the one that I was sort of playing with when I was sort of in the ISO 3600 space, and then I went back out afterwards, and can see a bit. It is actually a little bit darker, even at ISO 12,000. It was still 2/3 of a stop under or something to that effect, I've got a Nikon D750, and the next step after 12,000 is high, and I don't know, I decided not to go into high, not for any particular reason. So anyway, we'll see how we go. So yeah, I mean, this software just really briefly is quite cool. You can do a wee double click, and it opens up a browser more this way. And it's just got some really good quick tools there. So I just put on fine detail, and so this is kind of giving contrast edges, kind of trying to give a sense of focus. That one was all over the place, and then we're getting real noisy as we go through. So it's actually not turning up a lot. So not that helpful in this instance, but it is a helpful wee feature sometimes. It's got let me turn that off. Pardon me. Do that. That is the one I've clicked there. It can add some level of sharpness to it, so you can get a sense of what it'll look like when it's sharpened. It's got, like if you want to see what's in the shadows, you can do that, and it'll just quickly bung things up. If you want to see what's in the highlights, you can do that, and it'll quickly. So it's got some great little features to it. Again, called FastRawViewer. Been using it for quite a few years now, just for exactly this, having a quick peek, and then using it to transfer images. So I'll just go back to, I'll just press G and go back to grid. I'm going to just grab all of these for now. Actually, I won't grab these two, or these three, because they're such completely different framing. So I will grab those and then just add these ones in. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm going to just come up, and I'm going to go copy 8 files, select folder, 362 project. And you might think that it's going to be day 51, but actually day 51 was just a phone snap. So this will be day 52, new folder. Day 52, boom, and open. And that'll copy those across for me. Lickety split, and I'll go ahead and just quit FastRawViewer for now. Awesome, so back to DxO, and of course once I've done that I can come into my photo library and I'll now see my day 52 folder has appeared and is ready to go. So I'm just going to zoom in and try to get a sense for if there's much difference in sharpness. I feel like that one might have been about the sharpest, so we'll just bing some stars on that and we'll play with that. So, and just double checking, that is ISO 3200. It was on my 80 to 200 millimeter lens, so I had cranked my shutter speed up a bit because I was just hand holding. So that's on 1/500th of a second. And now I'm just going to ping over to these and see if I can even tell if they're sharp or not with that noise. So I'll be really curious to see. I mean, you know, I've had great luck with DxO and noise processing, but this is fairly full on. Just more so judging from the Leaf than the Raspberry, because I'm having a hard time seeing the Raspberry. I'm going to call this one the one that I'll try. So awesome. So I'm just going to pop over to the customized space. And just for giggles, I'll put that on 1.53. I think that's too much. I'm going to, because it wasn't that bright, I'll bring that to about there. And this is the other one. Quite a tremendous difference. I can't wait to see how this plays out. And I'm just trying to gauge. This might want to be. I'm just trying to get these reasonably matched in terms of tone. I guess I can enlarge that actually, get up a bit more space. Yeah. So again, not a whole lot to, I'm not going to do a whole lot else with this image. This video is just about seeing what we can do with the noise. So I'm going to pop over here to this third little wee tab, which is detail. And at the top of that, we get this indicator of so it's already applying some high quality noise reduction. Then there's the traditional prime, and now, of course, DeepPRIME. And when I do that, it won't really correct the preview here in its entirety to the level that it will ultimately. You know, you can move this around to get a better sense. Nice. So that looks awfully clean. I'm actually wondering if they've changed that in the software. Traditionally, it never did show the processing in real time for the noise reduction, but boy, that looks pretty good. So I'm really strongly wondering. So I'm gonna just pop over here now to this, and I'm going to put on DeepPRIME on that. See what it thinks of that. Wow. Not bad. Not bad. And that's just, I noticed that that's sort of got a, it's on auto right now, so it's sort of making a choice about that. It's quite incredible. Just going to pop back over to this other one. Obviously, I mean, you know, 3200 is not a problem at all for this software, because that is clean as. Just going to pop back here. Just curious if I come over here and just increase this luminance. Actually, I might. I'm just noticing that this up here in this corner, so maybe there is something to that. Maybe it's still not showing me a really good preview, because this looks much cleaner than this. So actually, I won't go too far with playing. I'm going to put it back on auto. And I'm going to export these two images and see what the result is. So let me just come here. So I've got those two selected. I'm going to go to export to disk, and I've got a wee sort of recipe already set up, standard output. So it's just going to ping it out to a pretty high quality JPEG. No resizing or anything like that is currently enabled. It's going to create a little wee subfolder. It's going to make it sRGB, which I'll just leave that. This is basically what I use when I'm going to upload something to the web most of the time, unless I've got a specific other need. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and press export, and we can actually get a sense of how long these two take. I'm just going to open this up. See, it'll give us a wee countdown. So 4 seconds, 7 seconds, so there we go, 15 seconds. This is a Mac, an M1 MacBook Pro, you know, just the basic M1 processor that first came out. So now there we go. No. That doesn't want to let me bring the folder up there for some reason. Maybe it must be just because of the... Oh, I know exactly why, because I've got this maximized, isn't it? Let me just put that down for a second. There we go. That'll do the difference. And so this one, 5.9, so this should be the 3200 one. And I don't know about you, but that always blows me away, because that is so smooth and quite reasonably sharp as well. And let's see this one here. Yeah. Wow. So ISO 12,000, and I'm just going to open that in preview so I can zoom in a little bit more. But that is reasonably insane. I mean, if you come in here, and that was, that was a little bit underexposed too, so I needed to raise that exposure a little bit, but that's not bad. Obviously it's not got quite the same level of detail and sharpness, but that is not bad at all. And actually, just another curiosity, because sometimes colors get reasonably impacted by this. I'm just gonna do this and just see how much of a color shift there is. Mind you, I also wasn't careful with my white balance, so that's not really a very scientific test, is it? One, there we go. That one. And then that one. Yeah, I mean, certainly that's a bit more vibrant, but still pretty impressive. So hopefully that's been interesting for anybody out there that's been really curious about, everybody talks about the incredible heavy lifting power of DxO's raw noise reduction, and here's a little example. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you come back and see me again. Bye-bye, everyone.